talk about the bacons. Obviously, I'd never even heard of it. And then I was blown out the water after I had tried it. And we made that clip about it, and
Yep.
it sort of took off and went viral. Still to this day, it's still going off. And
It's unreal.
a lot of people hadn't heard about the beef bacon.
Yep.
So what sort of made you introduce that into your shop?
Yeah, so I can't remember exactly how it went, but when I first bought the business, one of the young fellas stayed on there with me, and he sort of come to work one day, and I can't remember whether he seen something or somebody said it or something to him anyway. He said to me, you know, try this beef bacon, give it a go, put it through the smoker, let's have a run. I'm like, whatever. So I thought, oh, found a rub I like, put it on there, threw it in the smoker. Didn't think much of it. Thought it was just going to turn out like corned meat, cooked. Anyway, we sliced it, put it in the pan, and it just, I was like, holy shit, hang on a minute. What have we unleashed here?
Yeah.
And yeah, pretty much from then on, it was just, I started making more of it. I couldn't keep up, but nobody sort of knew about it. So it didn't, just sat there as a thing, and I had to tell people about it. And then once people clicked onto it, and then you guys done that potty on it, it was just hell.
Yeah.
Like, I reckon, I think that first 2 weeks I done probably 120 kilos a week. of
Wow.
It was just, unreal. I
The
couldn't
beef
keep up with
bacon had
briskets.
that center spot.
Yeah.
So from that video, a lot of people, well, some people that knew about it, they told us about these other bacons, and they told us about lamb bacon first, and then we come to you, and you said, "Yeah, hell yeah, we'll give it a whirl." And I think lamb bacon's my favorite.
Yep.
It was beautiful. And then we heard about the turkey bacon. Now that looks, you made 2 turkey bacons.
Yeah.
One was a grinded down one, and one was I think a
Yeah.
breast one.
Yeah.
What's sort of the process in the lamb and the turkey? Is it much the same?
So the lamb is much the same. So same thing, just cure it. I add a little bit extra stuff to that just to give it a bit of sweetness. And then the rub on the outside, I actually use a local rub from a fella in town here. He makes them all himself. Rub that on it, same thing in the smoker, away she goes. Turkey's a little different. So I cure it the same way I do my chicken. And then, the loaf one's probably my pick of the two instead of the breast. The breast, I think, dries out too much.
I agree.
Yeah. I just want to niche it up a little bit and add a bit of flavour to it somehow, because it's sort of just it's there, but it's not quite there. I want something a little extra.
Is there a certain cut that's better for doing the bacon, whether it is the beef, the pork, the chicken, the lamb, turkey?
The lamb, hands down leg.
Yeah.
Bone roll a leg, cure it, rub it, perfect, because it holds the moisture and that little bit of fat to it. The brisket on the beef is the same thing.
Yep.
Holds that moisture, holds the fat, cooks up well. And then, turkey, I go the thigh just for the fat content in the thigh. Breast is just dry, like they're no good.
Yeah.
But they're the 3 picks I have for them. Like, there's probably a better cut out there that somebody might know, but that's the picks I've done.
Is there many other bacons that sort of we haven't heard about that you've heard about, or is that sort of the main ones? That you
How about venison? Have we tried that?
I've actually got some curing at home. I've got some curing at home to give it a good sample, because mum and dad have a fair few deer running around their place, so we dabble in a fair bit of it every now and again.
Oh yeah.
I'll give you boys a taste when it comes through and
That sounds
see
good.
how it goes.
Yeah, bloody oath.
Yeah.
And there's also what we learnt from that was a lot of people were asking where to get it from, and we had people driving from all around to come in here to your shop to get it because they couldn't find it at their local butchers or wherever they were at. Why do you think that is? Like, because it's not a common thing at other butchers where you think it would be a massive sort of thing.
It's sort of that untapped resource of where people are just stuck in the way of, normal bacon, ham, silverside roast beef, cabanas and stuff. Like, nobody sort of ventures out that little bit just to
They just sort of follow
trial
the pack,
something.
don't
Yeah,
they?
yeah. Where that's where I've sort of stood back and gone, well, hang on, this is a little niche market here. Let's try and target it and see where we can go with it. Always just trying to think of something new to put in the smoker. So we love sampling it in the shop for smokers every day. So
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
nice and hot.
What's your favourite one, mate, of the bacons?
Yeah, I'd have to go beef.
Beef?
The beef bacon, yeah.
I'd like to sample more of them.
Yep.
Because I was a big fan of the lamb because I think mainly because I didn't think I would like it. But I reckon the beef I could eat way more regularly.
Beef tastes a lot more, I don't know, to me, more cleaner to eat
It's a
Like
lot
it's
leaner.
a lot more,
It's a
yeah.
lot leaner though.
Feels like a lot more healthier too. Like whereas you compared to the pork, it's real greasy and oily.
Exactly right. Yeah.
Whereas I can spray a little bit of oil on my beef bacon and it come out and it's just really, really nice.
Yeah. Still crispy.
When you're doing your bacons, like we were talking earlier on sort of, I guess, tickets and that, is there a course that you got to go through to be able to, or can any butcher do it?
Any butcher can do it. It's just whether your boss is willing to train you through it and show you the ropes, how to do it. There is obviously the butcher shop has to have that safe food accreditation to be able to do it. So you've actually got to have a cooking, we call it a cooking license, I guess, in the shop. So every year I've got to send samples away to Safe Food. They test them all to make sure they're clean, not going to make anyone sick.
So is that separate again from like the butchering?
Yeah.
Because you've got to go through that smoking curing process.
Yep.
Oh, there you
Yeah.
go.
So butchering's just one standard thing, then the smoking, cooking progress is another. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's something I never would have thought of. I just thought, butchers do that.
Between the, let's just say the mass producers, your meatworks and that, what do you find the difference is from your supermarkets to your little local butchers?
So your supermarkets are more just to push product. They just get in bulk, whatever, send it on its way. Where the smaller guys sort of sit back and try and target, might be a little bit more expensive, but we're aiming for that good product to sell. So we're not going to, because the way I look at it is at a supermarket, you got to walk in there and get your groceries. You've got to go in there. So you see the meat section, boom, you go past it. Where in a butcher shop, they've actually got to want to come to you. So you've got to have that product to drag them in the door for them to want to be in your shop.
Yeah, I guess the supermarkets are, while you're here,
Yeah, that's exactly.
we got some meat for you where you're like, come to me, Russ, I got the meat.
Yeah, you've really got to target the customer out there. And
because I'll find
across.
when I do my shopping, I'll go to the butcher first.
Yep.
See, like what Taryn said before, I'll go in and see what you got. Like,
Yep.
right, I'll get one of them, and then I'll go to the shop after and get the shit to go with the meat I just bought.
Yeah, that's my same tactic. Because when I think everyone can agree on this too, is you can tell the taste difference between supermarket meat and your butcher meat.
Yep.
And we're big on pushing all of our listeners to supporting their local butchers. And the meat just tastes a lot fresher from a butcher. Like it just tastes like meat, whereas the supermarket, there's just no flavor in the meat.
Yeah, I believe that could potentially be the way it comes down to packaging too. Like obviously in a butcher shop, it's in a big open displayed window. You take it out every night. It goes back in the cold room. It's, in a supermarket, it's just sitting on a tray out there in that open fridge where, temperature fluctuates. So that could be part of it too.
Yeah.
It's not a long shelf life on it.
Do you get into any of these, I guess, tinfoil hat stuff where they're pumping them full of water and...
Oh, I've had a few customers walk in the door with that. It's a bit funny. Like I've had a few customers come in, asking me, did I inject the bacon with COVID? And I'm like, hey? Yeah, like I was a bit blown away with that one. I'm like, no, just your normal salts and cures and stuff. And yeah, like you'd be surprised the amount of people out there that actually come in and ask, they'll only shop with me because I do that local beef and they know what's in it and they haven't had the jabs. And it's, there is quite a few out there.
Well, I've found like even I'll be lazy now and then if I'm in a hurry and I'll be at the shops, I'll grab a bit of mince or a steak or something from the bullies or whatever. And so much moisture comes out of it when you cook it.
Yeah.
Like especially your bacon, that like it shrivels up to nothing and the pan's full of moisture. Where that doesn't happen when you go to your butcher.
No, and I can't explain that one exactly because I don't know what happens at the meatworks behind the scene.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have noticed, and a lot of people saying that too, like mince and stuff through the shop where they get it at the supermarket. It's, full of water in the pan and stuff and 3/4 full of oil where they come and buy it off the local butcher. You don't get all that water. It doesn't stew the meat, and that's a big key too, not stewing the meat when you're cooking it. It keeps its flavour.
Let's talk about sort of the cuts of the meat and different animals. Are you sort of all the cuts and the parts of the meat that you cut and all similar between every different animal?
So you can break every animal down the exact same way, like so a beast, pig, lamb, deer, everything like that. They all have the same primals in them, your rumps, your ribs, all that. But generally, you know, your lamb and your pork, you'll break down a little bit different to a body of beef because obviously the rib fillet in a lamb's the backstrap, it's tiny, so you're not going to cut that into steaks.
Yeah.
So you more leave it as a rack or a cutlet so you can hang onto the bone and chew, same as pork. Where your beef, you're going to get that bigger steak, so you more predominant, you know, cut it into steaks instead. Touch on that. Yeah, they are all the same, but you always break them down a bit different.
Do you have a favourite either cut or beast that you prefer?
Oh, look, I love me Brangus. You
Yeah.
know, I sort of dabbled in a few, and not just with through the butcher shop and that. Like over the years, obviously, I've had cattle myself and that, and done them all. And yeah, like, and it's probably just what Quinny does with it, but they've really opened my eyes up that, you know, I've even got a few at home now, seeing if I can do the similar thing to see if it's not just what he does, it might be the animal. But
Yeah.
yeah, really love me Brangus at the moment. And then rump steak, you can't beat a good rump.
Yeah.
You touched on the Brangus and that. So when you start diving into the different breeds of beef, what are you sort of looking for in a better steak?
Yeah. So, like, you don't know how the animal's going to be until you take its coat off. So that's the hard thing. Like, you got to really know what you're looking for, and I think that's where Quinny has a good eye for it. What he sends me, like, you're looking for a shiny coat, a nice full rump, full brisket, stuff like that. You know, you don't want to see any sunken away, sort of around the waist area, no ribs showing.
Well, a lot of people probably won't believe me, but one of the best beasts that I've eaten was out at old Billow Range.
Yep.
There was a bunch of clean skins out there. Anyways, we knocked down this, it was probably about a 14-year-old clean skin bull, old as. Anyways, we quartered him up, went and hung him up and processed him. And the meat that come out of him was just so tender and beautiful flavour and just unreal. I've never tasted anything as good as what that beast come out.
Yep. Well, very similar to me, mate. Probably best one I've eaten was a 7-year-old bullock I had in the paddock that we couldn't keep in the yards. He'd just clear 7-foot rails. And I just got the shits with him one day and went, well, you're my next freezer filler, so let's go.
Yeah.
And yeah, I thought he was going to be as tough as shit, but the best beast I've probably eaten too. So
I guess maybe I wonder if that comes down to his environment because he's out free ranging about, being a scrub bull. He's low stress. He doesn't have to put up with any humans or
That's
any
a
of
big
that,
thing
even though
too.
he's a bit probably older than what you would normally butcher a beast with.
Well, bulls you don't really use. Well, you'll cut into steaks because they're so tough.
yeah,
You usually mince them up or
Yeah.
stew or something like that. And that's what I was blown away by is, you know, even his rump steaks would just melt. It was, it's unreal.
Yeah.
Making me hungry.
We should have fired the smoke.
Yeah.
But we've shot scrubbers up in the Cape and like run the rib racks over a fire and that, and have been unreal. But the whole hunting it, cutting it up in the paddock, cooking it over the fire, I think that sort of made it better than it was. But yeah, that whole, I don't know, it's hard. You don't know the history whether
No,
what
you
comes
don't know
out of
the
it,
history
eh?
of that animal. You don't know where it's been, what it's done.
Mm.
It sort of makes it, interesting.
Yeah.
Have you done many odd animals that not sort of an average person would consume?
I haven't really, no. I missed out on the opportunity to learn how to do ostrich, emus.
Oi,
I was-
ostrich just come to my head
Yeah.
straight away then. I was about to ask that.
So the old farm here, local, I was about to learn how to do them, and then he shut down and they just shot them all. I think I can't remember what they done with them, but yeah. So we sort of lost out on that opportunity, which was
That'd be
sort of
cool.
Emu fat's really like, have you seen the fluorescent
yeah.
yellow? Like
Yeah.
it's crazy on how bright it is.
Yeah.
But mate, told the story before, but one of the weirdest things that I ate, I spat it out. It was really delicious. But once I found out what it was, I made myself spew it back up. But so I'm curious if you've dabbled in anything like this, but I had crumbed cow's brain.
Yep.
And I thought it just looked like a chicken garlic ball. And I thought, oh yeah, I love chicken garlic balls. Anyways, when I took a bite into it, it just tasted like it was grinded down like chicken mince in a way, like that sort of texture. And it was like creamy and that. And I thought, oh, this is all right. What's this? They said, oh, yeah, it's cow's brains. I said, nah, what is it? Yeah, no, it's crumb cow's brains. And I was like, spewed it up, and they're laughing, and I was like, "That's dog food. Like, why are you feeding anyone that?" You know. But it was actually really good. But the fact of knowing what it was just nah.
That's like the old prairie oyster. You get a young ringer come in, you chuck some nuts on the Brandon furnace. It's actually the flavour in that's not that is pretty good. Sorry, but because you know what it is and the texture of it, that's what sort of.
I just want to hold me manhood and not eat nuts.
Yeah.
That's the whole reason why I won't eat them.
Yeah. No, touching on, I've had lamb brains. Didn't know what it was myself. Same thing. It was Mother's Day breakfast actually, and didn't pay much attention to the buffet when we were there, and just seen crumbed, and I thought, a bit of crumb chicken, same thing. Hooked into it, and then went back for seconds and looked at the thing and just read crumb lamb brains. And I was like, oh, no. In a restaurant, I couldn't throw it up, and so I was just like, yep, wear that one.
Tick it off the list.
Yep. Never again.
Yeah.
I actually ate the other day. I don't know how I got it down, but it looked like shepherd's pie. I hate things that are deceiving. And got it on my plate, and I've hooked into it, and I've fucking had a bite of it, and it was fish pie.
Ooh,
and
fish pie.
It was disgusting, mate. I'm sitting there, and there's people around me, and I'm like, I can't spit this out, and the boys are just laughing.
Where'd you get this from?
At work at the camp.
Oh, you got fish pie from a camp.
Yeah. It was brutal bad, and I got it down, but this is how, not even exaggerating one little bit. I was still tasting that for 4 days after it, and I would make my hairs stand up every time I thought of the taste of it. It was that bad. How could you feed that to someone?
I've got a rule: if you can't see the sea, don't eat sea.
Exactly. That'd be like getting a fillet of fish from Macca's. Like,
Yeah.
not on.